Hello, everybody. It is a beautiful Saturday here on the 22nd of May 2021. Wow. Almost Memorial Weekend. So, I've said this month was jam packed with a lot of stuff, but I don't find it a need to give all the details. And quite honestly, when you're listening to particular details about something that is occurring, maybe you're not aware of, but now you're aware of, and you can't unhear it because it's in your mental, and now you're literally looking for it to occur. So, one of the things I generally really suggest is detoxing from all the incoming information from others and tune into your own antenna through your feet, your earth star chakra, up through your body and your meridians and your chakra, through your mind, your brain, and out through the seventh chakra into your soul star chakra. So it's like a complete alignment through the body, outside the body, etc. Get your feelers going and learn how to sense in that way versus listening to much of the information that I'm really finding a lot is fear-based. I had some time on the road yesterday, so I decided to listen to something on YouTube, and it was a person that I would periodically come across, and she seems to be, pretty genuine and straight on and connected with the little star beings and those kinds of things. But yesterday, the title was something like "Get Ready for the Shit." And I thought, oh, well, I'm in the car. Let's listen to this. And I'm at a point in my life where everything's information, and I don't take it in as it is the end all be all, okay? But then again, I empathically have to tune and turn a lot of things off because it all goes somewhere, right? Can't unhear, can't unsee, can't unfeel something that's occurring. So in order to guide my scale of retrieving and taking in new information into this filter, I have to be a little more selective on what and who I listen to. So in listening to this person, she was about, you need to prepare, and it's gonna be bad, and only God knows the ending, and all this kind of stuff. And in my thought process and my feeling process and my connections was, the creator of all that is has designed this for us to bob and weave through lessons. And the outcome isn't that. It's thy will. It's our will. It's what we choose. And then what we choose individually, and then what we choose collectively on how things will be. So a lot of these doom and gloom, fear-based predictions, thoughts, and then when someone else picks them up and taps into themselves and then carries that baton forward as if it's all theirs, you really truly are doing a disservice to yourself and your connection here to Mother Earth, the planets, and the Creator, divine being that many call God. I also personally have issues when people call Yeshua Jesus, because that name was changed by the King of Scotland when he became the first king of England and decided he wanted to unite his people, and the only way he could leave a legacy, because he was a damn mess, was to have his scholars translate these biblical chapters. So honestly, you totally lose all the phonetics out of Aramaic, and even if you look back at some of the early Hebrew and Aramaic and the Old Testament, then you know that a lot of that came thousands of years before from the Sumerians. So anyway, that's a whole other history lesson that, once you take the windshield wipers and clean off everything that you've been taught, learned, and placed into your DNA generation after generation, you own it as if it's yours, when it really truly didn't occur in the ways that you're being taught that things occurred. So we already know the facts that in the 1700s, before that, there was no J's. So he made up a name, and then he changed the name so that they could sound more English and unite Scotland and England. So that's like, I'm born, Sandra, and now everybody wants to call me Ippy. I don't know, just made that up. Sounds terrible. And then enough generations are calling me Ippy that everybody thinks that my name is Ippy. So I like to get to the soul matter, the truth of things that I know that resonate well with me, and the truths always come in and out as, truth or not truth or whatever, but it's your version of whatever it is that you choose to believe. But just make sure you've got your information in there and that you're really feeling through it. That is it in truth of the authentic person or storyline that you're taking in? Because remember, you can't unhear it, you can't unsee it. It all goes into your DNA receptors and your telomeres and all that good stuff, and then it's collected into the video I did to the little balloon pod, and then it's taken out to the thoughts of all of that. So just stay away from the information that's giving you fear, because you have free will and choice. And the only way to understand that you have free will and choice is to literally cancel, alt, delete what everybody else is doing and saying, and tune into your inner GPS, your rhythm of Mother Earth and all that she has to say, all the planetary alignments, as well as the divine creator, and then all your guide systems that are there to help you. And tune into what you know is more authentic to what has a rhythm with you. Because again, whatever it is that you're creating, you want it to be for the highest good, one that brings peace, joy, and enlightenment and lifting up, because all that of your energy echoes out to others. Okay? Again, when you're talking about the heart space, you don't have a vocabulary for it. They're feelings. There's feelings that you're trying to stuff into a little teeny tube so someone else might understand it. Heart matters they're just your interpretation of your own feelings with the words that you have, but it's so beyond that words cut it short. They cut it short. So anywho, if you didn't know that there were eclipses, retrogrades, if you didn't know there's tsunamis of energy, which there is every day, okay? If you didn't know solar flares, what would you really understand is happening? Because back in the day, there was nobody there telling you things, and as we know it, the early American Indians were always in tune with the messages from here and above in ways that they had to attune through their body and understand what was happening. So while we're going through this, these waves that are going in many, many different directions, turn off a lot of stuff that you're listening to and empower yourself to tune in, to get your tuner dial, to see what you can hear, what you can feel. And what I do lots of times is I put on a night mask. I do it lots of times when I'm healing. I do it lots of times when I'm just sitting. Is I take a sensory out. I've actually gone for walks with earplugs in. So I could take a lot of the hearing sensory out. And let me tell you, when I first did that, and during my walk, later realized that I was hearing myself from the inside walking. It was pretty cool. So if you take out those 5 sensories that your physical avatar has, start deleting some of those by earplugs, mask, whatever. See if you can tune in and what vibrates differently for you, and what connections you make with your inner tuner and your outer tuner with all of your divine guide beings that are here with you to support you in agreement. But remember, they can't do anything for you unless you ask for assistance, and then you can't reach outside of yourself for them to fix anything. Okay? They can give you guidance by helping you tune in. So when you're taking a walk, you're like, well, the path goes straight, but then there's one over here and there's one over there. Let me stop and see which one feels right. And then you may say, ooh, I'm going to venture that way. You see what I'm saying? So they can help, but they can't direct you in a way that, a parent directs a child when you're like, no, head for the door, and they're headed that way, and you take their shoulders and you're like, no, head that way. It's an energetic assistance that they give you. Once you start doing that and you tune in, you'll find that you don't need overstimulation from caffeines and all these vitamin B power drinks and all this imitation vegetarian crap that people are feeding you. And you're going to look at things and ask your body, what is this truly the wholesome thing that I desire for my nutrients, and is it what my taste buds would enjoy? Because you don't want to eat something that you don't like because you're sending messages and you're like, ugh. But have you ever noticed you're not really crazy about a taste about something, but then after a little while, you already know in your mind that this is like so fortifying that you can actually feel the cells, filling up with this beauty of these nutrients, that you're like, you bypass the taste of it, maybe the 3rd, 4th, 5th time. And you're like, doesn't faze me a bit because I know what it does. So tune into those 11 body systems, tune into the many chakras that you have. I think there's 7 that they've been written on. So look it up. Look up your meridian lines. Look up things that are wholesome. We're wholesome to you and for the all. And get away from fear porn, because that's all here. And then it puts you here, and it's difficult to unsee it, unfeel it, unhear it. So that's a process in which you can release, and I can help you with that. In the meantime, put the full button on. Like, I'm done with that, the full button. This thing is off. I'm not taking in any more until I process this, and then I'm also learning to process through my heart center. You're also bringing your energies and your vibrations down every time you get into a conversation of density with anyone else, by the way. And not only do you take yourself to that density, by joining that density, you take that heaviness and it echoes out. All right, you get the picture. Have a fabulous day.